Never again will we be threatened by our enemies. I decree that this farm will now devote itself to the making of weapons, to the building of walls. The revolution is over. All animals are now free!
Capitalism and communism, two bedfellows that can never mix well together. Or can they? In this video, I'm going to be asking the question, in some long, far-off future, totally different and removed from our own reality, what would happen if they mixed a little bit? Welcome, comrades, to the People's Republic of North Birchville, a noble, egalitarian society that firmly believes that the resources must be equitably distributed amongst the population. There should be no distinction between the needs of the rulers and the needs of the ruled. All shall work together for the benefit of the whole. And there are some other civics too, but we'll get to that in due time. Welcome to the Imari. They have lived for a long time on the habitat world of Birchville. This is actually North Birchville, as some time ago, in a great calamity, southern Birchville was destroyed. This left the Imari people scattered amongst a number of habitats in their trinary solar system. Yes, that's 3 stars moving perfectly together, absolutely beautiful. And they realized they would only survive the cataclysm, the destruction of southern Birchville, their home world, a forest world where the Imari of old would flock and fly and flourish between the trees. But they would only survive if they strictly embraced the principles of communism. Yes, comrade, First Citizen Charles Underhill now leads the People's Republic of North Birchville, and they will be led to greater and larger successes. But not all is as it seems. With the discovery of the hyperdrive, there has been a fundamental shift in the society of the People's Republic. With the discovery of the new hyperdrive technology has come opportunities for certain unscrupulous Imari within the People's Republic. A new merchant class has formed, yet this merchant class is only really present on Birchville, the primary habitat of the 3 Imari habitats, but they are consolidating their power, both political and economic. All Imari are equal, but now some are more equal than others. And so the stage is set for the Imari to venture out finally into the galaxy, and hopefully they might make some friends. And this new flourishing entrepreneurial class has paved the way to Birchvillan prosperity. Or so they claim. With the expansion into space, comrades, the Imari have discovered habitable planets they really never dreamed of. Unfortunately, due to the nature of their long confinement to the habitats in the systems around space and the low gravity environments there, they actually have found that they can no longer live on these would once be lush habitable worlds. And it is starting to become quite clear that money talks. On the other 2 habitats, Cape Valor and Vera's Bay, we've seen the emergence of yet more merchant classes, ruling classes, putting themselves above the rest of the population, tightly keeping hold of the secrets of hyperdrive technology. But their pervasive ideas have seeped in yet further. Now they are preaching to the masses, the ruled populace, that trickle-up economics is the way to go. But you see, clerks, they may basically do our taxes and our bookkeeping, but you people are essential. You are key workers, essential to the functioning of a regular society. And the more you work, the more money we all make. Because that's how it works, all right? But that was really only a halfway measure. With the legalization of free commercial enterprise within the People's Republic, merchants are flourishing. Within the span of only 5 years, the merchant classes has quintupled amongst the peoples of Birchville. But for now, the workers of the People's Republic still outvote the merchants across the empire, even on their own habitats. The farmers and the miners and the technicians are still in the majority, thank goodness. out amongst the stars, Isabella Brocklehurst, one of our key leading Imari, one of the scientific lights of the community, has discovered what can only be dubbed as alpha aliens, a name as confusing as it is problematic for the people of Birchville. The envoy, the great renowned Charlotte Pennyfather, has been sent to investigate. And if you're enjoying this video, please share the burden of the like button, then subvert it to capitalism. Only 7 years after the adoption of hyperdrive, the merchants have basically managed to get a stranglehold grip on Vera's Bay. Once a generator station producing power for the entire Imari nation, it has now been reduced to what can only be described as a trade station. Now, merchants and clerks are the primary force on this station. All power generation has simply ceased. I don't know where they're getting their power from at the moment, but it seems like the lights are still on. The Imari economy, the People's Republic of North Birchville, has not ground to a halt. Or at least that's what the propaganda papers tell us. And combined with this new political power, 1/3 of the habitats of the nation under merchant control, they have convinced the first speaker to adopt an adaptive economic policy, which will clearly be for the benefit of all. This economic policy must, of course, benefit the consumers of the nation, because consumption, as we all know, is the most important thing.
You just looked straight into the bleeding jaws of capitalism and said, "Yes, Daddy, please."
And the merchant classes are trying to win over the rest of the population by distributing luxuries, a consistent program of bread and circuses. Only time will tell what effect this destabilizing economic influence will have on Imari society. Thanks to the furtive efforts of Charlotte Pennyweather, we were able to secure enough data from our linguists to translate the language used by the alpha aliens. Our mastery may not be complete, but we have opened diplomatic channels with a civilization now known to be the Mandate of Prague. I can only assume this mandate, being an intellectually advanced, starfaring society, has only been able to get here through strict adherence to the principles of communism. They're hegemonic imperialists, right, I see. No! There has been a real shake-up in the politics of the Imari nation. The National Workers' Coalition, its first citizen David Walpole, are still in primary control, but the Free Trade League, led by the devious Governor Charles Underhill, are making their way into the national spotlight. In order to heal the divisions of our now fracturing population, First Citizen David Walpole has embarked on a campaign of harmony. Yes, that's right, few things can match the strength of a content populace working towards a common goal, and that's exactly what he's going for. Meanwhile, in the tier system, the People's Committee have decided and authorized the construction of a new habitat, a new living space for the People's Republic. Interestingly, the tier system boards the Uxpheri, which is right in the Mandate of Prague space. And yes, the Mandate of Prague don't quite like the People's Republic very much. With the 2220 election, First Citizen Charles Underhill, leader of the Free Trade League, now reigns supreme. I wonder what fantastic new policies he will be implementing in his rule.
And as my first act with this new authority...
Whatever you might think of the merchant classes, no one can argue Charles Underhill is a champion of the people. The will of the people will be carried out, and we have trade booming. The habitat around Via 7 has been completed, and of course, First Citizen Charles Underhill has taken complete credit for its construction. The People's Committee have been forgotten. Port Gloria has been born. Utopia, a dream of David Walpole, now brought to fruition yet again by the devious First Citizen Underhill. And we've started discovering more and more aliens across the galaxy, ineffably different from ourselves. None seem to have embraced the true power of communism.
I mean, I'm smiling, but I'm very furious.
In a stunning backstab, the first citizen Charles Underhill, just as his term comes to an end with only months left before the next election, has replaced his brother Victor Underhill, governor or mayor of the Birchville settlements, with the alien Prakti Magorn, a merchant of Numa. To our north, the Holy Tribunal of Kalimi have finally made contact with us, and through dedicated effort, Charlotte Pennyfeather has enabled the negotiation of a commercial agreement. This commercial agreement is truly a success and will only further the interests of the First Trade League, the political party run by, as you all know, the devious First Citizen Underhill. Due to the weakness of our navy, it seems the Kalimni, also egalitarian like us, but not quite of the communist persuasion yet, are guaranteeing the independence of the Birchville nation. Of course, we will gladly accept these comrades in arms. And due to all of these factors, the merchants have been thrilled with First Citizen Underhill. He has retained the first citizenship for a second term. The People's Republic of North Birchville is, of course, a utopian paradise, a communist republic for all the weary masses. And that's why 3 Avalonian pops have decided to join the colony at Port Gloria. Yet more affirmation that the merchant classes are running society just right. But these Avalonian are going to have it strongly recommended that they resettle on a world more preferential to their habitability needs and desires, the alpine world of Unuk II. With the opening of the People's Republic to commercial pacts amongst other friendly empires that we have discovered, it is quite clear a mercantile rather than isolationist foreign policy is needed going forwards. And of course, the People's Committee have gleefully signed off on whatever proposal has been made by First Citizen Underhill.
All those in favor? Carried unanimously.
Down on Unuk 2, we have discovered what seems to be a subterranean civilization. They are aggressively moving towards us. Luckily, First Citizen Underhill, the great champion of the people, has authorized a preemptive nuclear strike to deter and destabilize this alien threat. Long playthrough videos like these take a little bit longer to make, quite a bit longer actually, and sometimes it really doesn't pay off. If you're enjoying this video, if you'd like to see more content like this from this channel, please let me know down in the comments below. Our place in the galaxy is beginning to become clear. A galactic community of sorts has formed and is now beginning to pass legislation. Right now, on the Senate floor, First Citizen Underhill leads the noble People's Republic of North Birchville in pushing through buzzword standardization, which will enable our enterprise to work seamlessly amongst the other corporate nations of the galaxy. And that will be good for all the people of the Republic. Unfortunately, it seems the scientists and project leaders involved in the first strike against the subterranean Unfortunately, it seems the first strike against the people of Unuk II has actually completely destroyed their civilization. Below the surface is now corpse-filled caverns, corpse-filled mining sites, and corpse-filled generator area. First Citizen Underhill has asked for a moment, nay, a week of mourning for the loss of a beautiful, unique people from the galaxy. Those responsible for this drastic miscalculation have been found, fired, and will be purged from the structures of governance that define the People's Republic of North Birchville. Do not fear and do not worry, my good citizens, comrades. We will recover from this great atrocity. And yet all might be undone. The Bothrian Syndicate, hidden behind a pack of wild amoeba, which we have dared not to disturb for decades now, have revealed themselves, and in doing so they have set up criminal syndicate offices, it seems, amongst our people. Crime is beginning to skyrocket. What will our great leader do? Unfortunately, at this time of national crisis, we actually have an election upcoming. But do not fear, ladies and gentlemen, the great and glorious Charles Underhill will be promoting himself rigorously.
Stick with me, and you'll never go hungry again!
Praise be, First Citizen Underhill has returned to us, again the champion of our future, and he is the one who knows the only righteous path for our people. And mysteriously, after his stunning election victory, the scientist David Walpole, first secretary of the party of the Workers' Union, has vanished from Birchville in space. First Citizen Underhill will not rest until he uncovers what insidious plots Citizen Walpole, Comrade Walpole, was instigating across our nation. It is believed that he has fled to the primitive world of Palgol 2, home to the Pliff-Plaffs. Yet, with current native interference policy tying the First Citizen's hands, he has been forced to issue an emergency directive to change the policy to unrestricted. Only then can we, through a program of covert infiltration, find out truly if Walpole has hidden himself away on Pagol 2. Phase 1 infiltration has begun. Our Pliff-Plaff disguises do seem to be working. There is hopefully nothing to worry about. The traitor, Citizen Walpole, will soon be found.
This costume smells like ass!
God, there's no pleasing you.
Although our operatives on the surface of Pagol 2 now number somewhere in the thousands, we have still not found Citizen Walpole. His deviousness knows no bounds. Unfortunately, one of our infiltration cells has gone outside of their mandate and attempted to overthrow the government of one of the planet's major nations in a violent coup, only to have been foiled, and most of these cell members have been killed. Fortunately, another cell did manage to retrieve their bodies before Pliff-Plaff authorities could identify that they were aliens, but this has been a significant setback in our need to find Walpole. In order to combat the criminal syndicate buildings, the smugglers' ports, that sort of thing, which are emerging across our nation, First Citizen Walpole has commissioned the People's Defense Army. Precinct houses are being established across all of our worlds, and enforcers are now employed. These enforcers will root out the crime wherever it lies. It is clear now that Citizen Walpole is integral to this plot to destabilize the nation of Birchville. And to further shore up the defenses of the People's Republic, the First Citizen has commissioned a navy to be constructed. Ships will be built across a majority of our worlds, and for the first time, the People's Republic will be free of the tyranny of our oppressors. Who our oppressors are at the moment, we can't rightly tell, but the pamphlets are clear. We are being oppressed. Deep in the bowels of Unuk 2, some of our researchers have still been mapping the corpse-filled tunnels. No longer, should I say, filled with corpses, gloriously buried and put back to the heavens with fire. They were removed, but they've come across a large city belonging to the subterranean aliens. Unfortunately, the aliens proved too aggressive and would not cooperate with our expedition. The expedition was forced to defend themselves. Nerve gas was deployed, and millions of the frightened subterraneans have, thank goodness, been unable to rise up and attack our glorious nation on Unuk 2. Our operatives in the Kalimi Tribunal have uncovered an insidious plot. The mandate of Prak, whom we thought were our friends and definitely our neighbours, have been plotting to separate us from our good friends, the Kalimi Tribunal. It is completely clear this can be the work of none other than the disgraced, insidious corrupter known as Citizen Walpole. Wherever he is, he will be uncovered, rest assured. Our first citizen, Charles Underhill, champion of the people, reminds us of that. After a long and extensive search by our operatives, commanded by the glorious leader, we have not been able to find Walpole on Pagol 2. We have searched high, we have searched low, but he has not been there. Needless to say, we have instead uncovered the hallmarks and traits of his insidious ideologies, and for that reason we have been forced, can I say, to liberate the people of Pagol 2 and bring them gloriously into the nation of Birchville. And if you're enjoying this video and the other videos on this channel and you'd like to support this channel, you can do so by becoming a channel member and joining, by supporting this channel on Patreon and becoming a patron, or alternatively using the affiliate link in the description and purchasing something from the Humble Bundle store. A criminal underworld has formed on Pagol 2. Evidently this must be some sort of vestige of the network created by the evil Walpole. And now our eyes turn eastward. The Bothrian Syndicate are clearly following the techniques and principles espoused by the devious Walpole. The first citizen of our great nation is requiring all able-bodied people present themselves immediately to their local military offices. Armies will be created, the navy will be deployed, and we will be free of the devious Walpole very soon. At the behest of the great leader, the Bothrian Syndicate will be liberated. We shall ensure that they no longer threaten us with their dangerous and nefarious ideologies. And here we have engaged an enemy station. This is the frontier and the first battle of many. Thankfully, Hubert Granville, Supreme Commander of the Turquoise Fleet, has made sure that this first battle was done with a minimal loss of Imari life. His name will be forever praised in the annals of the People's Republic.
We are going in with the first wave. Means more bugs for us to kill. You smash the entire area. You kill anything that has more than 2 legs. You get me? We get you, sir!
And here our brave troops are fighting the good fight on Mortin's Marrow. In a stunning move, the Bothrian ships have attempted to bypass our front lines, but luckily the Turquoise Fleet is ready and their glorious commander Hubert Granville is on the job yet again. Above the world of Mortin's Marrow, a furious battle has been joined. We are still, for the glory of the People's Republic, winning victory, victory, victory. And we have achieved victory over the Bothrian Syndicate. No longer will they exist now. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, I present to the rest of the universe, the Bothrian Confederacy, so as to maintain this new government and cement its position, and therefore, by doing that, enable the freedom and liberty of all Bothrian citizens. Our beloved first citizen has announced a new union shall be formed, the Union of Socialist Republics, based on the principles of free, fair trade and communist society. And the Bothrian people have accepted our gracious and generous offer. We have been given the great honor of being chosen as the new president of this Union of Socialist Republics. Rejoice, comrades! Freedom is near. In other news, some unreputable and unscrupulous sources, no doubt at the beck and call of the great Walpole, great in infamy I should add, have claimed that the workers' councils, the workers' committees that run the People's Republic of North Birchville have been replaced with shadow councils. The first citizen is distressed to learn of these spurious allegations. Do not fear, the people are still firmly in charge of the Republic.
You serious?
Though the criminal offices of the Bothrian are now gone and they stand with us as brothers, the first citizen has decreed that the enforcers that were employed to combat this insidious threat must remain to safeguard future generations. And let us all praise the thoughts and actions of our glorious leader.
Amen, sir.
With his re-election for a 5th consecutive term, First Citizen Charles Underhill has now announced a daring new project. We will be undergoing engineered evolution for the entire species. With this new genetic research project, we have unlocked the secrets of extended lifespans. The Imari will now live longer, fuller lives, all thanks to our glorious leader, First Citizen Underhill. The Galactic Council, an impotent body of non-socialist republics in the majority, have finally decided to get something done. They have formed a council of sorts. Onto this council we have been voted. Our envoys, 9 of them, have been lobbying hard for our membership to this council, and this is the culmination of their efforts. A day of mourning has been declared. The First Citizen Charles Underhill has died. There is now a fierce battle between Victor Underhill, brother of the once glorious and now deceased First Citizen, and the alien known only as Slippery John. Only time will tell who the people shall trust with their future. And the vote has been cast. The people have returned Victor Underhill, brother to the previously dead First Citizen. Back we now have First Citizen Underhill. And therefore it is time, says the First Citizen, to usher in a new reign of prosperity across the Republic. Victor Underhill, First Citizen, brother of the beloved First Citizen Underhill before him, has been killed. I do not say dead, he has been killed. It is cold-blooded murder. His son, Zachary Underhill, now leads the Battle Brethren Party. Hopefully they can wrest control from Slippery John, who must be held accountable for his actions and for his part in the dramatic and terrible killing of our First Citizen. This is clearly the work of notorious mass murderer Sirius Black. Notorious instigator Walpole. Comrades, rejoice! Slippery John is now First Citizen. Zachary Underhill has disappeared from the space of the Republic, and we can only assume he has gone and joined forces with the traitor known as Walpole. Rejoice, comrades of the People's Republic of North Birchville. Slippery John will see us through to our overwhelming and final victory against the forces of darkness out there in the universe. Using our superior genetic sciences, the First Citizen requires all Imari citizens to report for immediate upgrades. Your nerves will be improved, your senses strengthened, your fecundity improved and increased. You will join the ranks of the Super Imari. At the behest of the President of the Union of Socialist Republics, that is First Citizen Slippery John, an ideological war against the Mandate of Prac to the south has been declared. It is clear, says the First Citizen, that the Mandate of Prac is still hiding the notorious fugitive Walpole, and we will hunt him down, we will find him and bring him to justice.
Everyone's doing their part. Are you? The war effort needs your effort. At work, at home, in your community.
Due to the species modifications by Slippery John, the entire Imari population have now been nerve stapled. This has led to severe and unprecedented economic and civil unrest across the Republic. First Citizen Slippery John wants to assure all citizens that there is nothing to worry about, everything will be fine. Simply report to your local biological engineering center for an upgrade if you haven't yet received one. I myself will be going down for an upgrade imminently. I think we can all say this has definitely been a lesson in why you don't want to take the xenophile ethic, you don't want to trust aliens, and you definitely don't want to let them inside your empire and take charge. This is 100% what will happen to you if you allow it to happen. Your pure communist ideals will be subverted. If you'd like to hear more about Slippery John's story, let me know down in the comments below. And if you'd like to see another long Stellaris Let's Play like this one, where I imagine what would have happened if Skynet won the war, click the video on screen now.